So what is up, guys? It is Nisho here, and today I got a guest speaking with me, the YuGiVerse. We don't have face cam, so you're gonna have to
Oh,
introduce
well,
yourself.
alright guys, it's me, Marcus YuGiVerse. Been on Nisha's channel before, hopefully you guys have recognized me.
Yeah. So today we got some spicy new cards leaked from Extreme Forces, and this time I'm gonna let YuGiVerse start off because half of these cards don't interest me, so I didn't really feel like talking about them myself.
The first card, generic, cyber support, striping partner, almost called it Panther like at least 3 times. Uh, really interesting stats, good for level 4 I guess. It's complete Nami, it must be summoned by its own effect. And it's really weird for me. If a monster effect is activated on your field is negated, you can special summon this card from your hand. Alright, I guess it's a weird way to recover from a strike.
Yeah. Nice.
And then if it's special summoned, not if, when, my bad, so that actually matters. So when it's card special summoned, you can target level 4 lower Cyberse in your graveyard, special summon it. I know someone who'd actually really like this card, but I'll leave it out of this.
The cyber stuff doesn't really appeal to me yet, so
Yeah, I mean, I'll leave it out of the video.
yeah.
Second one, Flick Clown, another Cyberse support. If you control 2 or more Cyberse monsters other than this card and there are no cards in your hand, you pay 1,000 life points, draw a card. I don't like that card.
Can we just take a minute to just look at this guy? All right, just look at him,
Sir.
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 Look
Sir.
at the cart.
Sir.
He looks so weird.
Why are you so upset? Who has wronged you? Sir. Sir. Who has wronged you in such a manner?
I don't know, man. Some of these cards be weird.
Metal Rocket Dragon, Bullet Dragon, whatever. Level 4. I think they're on level 4 right now.
I think I have another
They have a level 3, 2, 1, so I think now we can actually play Transmodify and Downbeat in this deck efficiently. Not bad.
one. All right.
Yeah. Same standard conditions. When a Link monster effect targets card field activated, you can destroy this card and then destroy all cards opponent controls are in the same column as the zone this card's occupying. I don't like how they're trying to force the column mechanic into every single archetype, like World Chalice, Jack Knights, now Rockets.
Magical Musketeers.
Oh, stop. Weathery patterns, weathery painters.
I mean, I guess it's something we're gonna have to get used to in Link format.
During the end phase of the card in the graveyard because it was destroyed by battle card effects from the field this turn, you can special summon 1 rocket monster from your deck except for Meal Rocket Dragon. I think there's a typo in your name there, guys.
Meal Rocket.
Meal Rocket.
Nice meal over here.
Yeah. Pass it back over to you.
Next, we got ourselves some mythical beasts. We got Medusa, and we got Basilisk. It's a real nice ninja anime if you haven't watched it. So, it's a light spellcaster pendulum effect, scale 4. So, they don't want you pendulum summoning in this deck. Or
All of them are scale 4s. They don't want you
yeah, they don't want pendulum summoning at all. So, I mean, unless you're going to use something like a magical abductor.
Then you couldn't, because their effects said that you can't have any other cards in pendulum zones.
Well, I mean, like for the just for the laws of just pendulum summoning in general, but yeah. So I think it has the same effect as some like the other mythical beasts. If there's no other card in your pendulum zone, target 1 monster in your graveyard that you can play in your graveyard. You can place a spell counter on. Destroy this card, and if you do, special summon that monster. And if you do, place 1 spell counter on it. Okay, so it revives a monster from your grave.
I think they all do something different. Like, they all require you to have no monster in your pendulum zone, but then they all revive it from a different place. Like, one of them revives from a place of extra deck.
It says no other card, not just monster. So you know,
the card in your pendulum
yeah.
zone. So you can't have a set card.
Yeah, that zone has to be open. And the monster effect, each time spell card is activated, place a spell counter, and then once per turn during the battle phase, you can remove 2 spell counters from your side of the field, target 1 face-up monster, have that monster's attack until the end of its turn. Well, and defense, but
Yeah.
it's a quick effect.
I guess.
Well, kind of.
Sort of. Not really.
Yeah, well, yeah, actually.
It doesn't say the word quick effect.
Oh, yeah, I
quick
forgot
effect
about that.
Yeah, because it has to say once per turn, quick effect. That's the new wording now.
So, it's an ignition effect during the battle phase.
Come and flush out the kitchen.
Stop. Yeah, that's pretty bad. Okay, so Mythical Beast Basilisk, 1800 attack, 500 defense, scale 4.
Basilisk is better, arguably, because it draws you a card. Once per turn, if you have no other card on your pendulum zone, you can destroy it, and then shuffle 1 face-up spellcaster pendulum monster from your extra deck into the deck, and then draw 1 card.
We have to control a face-up spellcaster pendulum monster.
No, shuffle 1 face-up pendulum monster from your extra deck into the deck.
From your extra deck. Oh, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah, so it actually net 2 cards is probably the best one.
And since they all seem to destroy themselves, that could actually work out pretty well.
You can only activate this card's second monster effect per turn. Spell counter distribution. You can remove 3 spell counters from your field. Return 1 mythical beast card from your pendulum zone or face up in your extra deck to your hand.
Okay, so
all right.
If you want to like kind of recycle them,
that's weird, but not
that's
that weird.
something you could do.
That's pretty good.
All right.
Ang Grappler. Water Tuner, level 1. When this card inflicts battle damage to your opponent by a direct attack, very specific, you can target a monster in your graveyard, summon it in defense position. Marauding Mauled Captain is better.
But do he got them fishes though?
Legendary Fisherman got them fishes though.
But Legendary Fisherman's trash.
So is Ang Grappler.
Well, we'll have to see. Now, this is a card. This is the card that I want to talk about. Okay, this is the card. So, Overtext Codals, Dark Dinosaur, Special Summon. I didn't know Special Summon was a.
Well, no, it's like, it's a Nomi, just like the Panther partner. It's a Nomi.
All right. So level 7, 2700 attack, 21 defense, cannot be normal summoned or set, and must be special summoned from your hand by its own effect. But that doesn't matter because it's a level 7, and you know what we do with level 7 and higher dinosaurs? We use that double evolution pill. That's what we do. But his summoning condition isn't that hard anyway because the miscellaneous source does still exist at 1. Unfortunately, it is crippled, right? It's like bleeding on the floor right now. And Konami just need to help that boy up. Bring that boy an ambulance or something, man. Put him back up to 2 or something.
Oh, God.
I mean, I guess because we still have Fossil Dig and Oviraptor at 3, it's not the biggest deal. But,
at least not like the OC with all the babies at 1.
Yeah, it could be worse. But, you can only use the second effect once per turn. Oh, they're pretty much both once per turn. So the first effect is that once per turn, when your opponent activates a spell or trap card, which is a quick effect, you can destroy 1 dinosaur monster from your hand or field, including himself. And if you do, negate the activation. And if you do, destroy it. So, pretty much he gets to destroy dinosaurs in your hand or field to negate your opponent's cards, and at the same time you'll be getting plus off of baby Ceratosaurus or Petite, special summoning out dinosaurs from the deck. If you're special summoning out Oviraptor, you search another dinosaur. So it's like it's just so good that you get like a negate that can just.
Well, think about it like this. What's his face? What's his name? Overtext Coatls. He's like the Trigate Wizard of the deck. Like Spirals. I'm going to refer to Spirals for only one instance. They don't have a viable spell trap negate during either player's turn. They got Trigate Wizard. Dinosaurs did not have a viable spell trap negate at all. They only had the Miscellaneous.
They actually had the rank 4 Evosaur Lagia.
True, but then that's an extra monster zone. This is just something that's easily accessible by its own effect and by the evolution pill.
The thing is, like,
you can put 2 of these out on turn where you can only put like 1 Lagia out if you're lucky.
Yeah, that's true. But it's like you're kind of relying on the double evolution pill because I don't think you will be playing this like outside, like when I say playing it, like you wouldn't be summoning it outside of with double evolution pill.
Speaking of evolution pill,
his second effect, where if he sent from if this card's sent to the graveyard by a card effect, so that means from the hand or field. So if you're still playing a diagram build, this effect still works out for you. You can add 1 evolution pill spell card from your deck to your hand. So technically speaking, he can kind of
double evolution pill searchable now.
Yeah, not only are double evolution pill searchable, but he can kind of float himself as well.
You can search for big evolution pill. Let's not even go there.
Yeah, let's not even.
You can tribute summon Dolgaron without having to tribute.
So, you can negate a spell track card, pop himself, search a double evolution pill, and then use double evolution pill to go into Ultimate Conductor or go into another copy of him. Well, I don't know why you would go into use him himself, unless he's your only dinosaur.
2?
Yes, you would play 2 of this, man. I mean, like him floating himself, he's too good. Like dinosaurs don't have too many cards that like recycle themselves.
I mean, in a way, like his summoning condition is balanced because Ultimate Conductor Tyranno, he's a semi-nomi, so he must first be summoned. This is just a lot more balanced, and it's the negate that they needed besides Lagia, because now with ideally with Lost World, they have a negate that doesn't lose 500 attack and defense.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
I can see like the plus and minuses there.
But
But
you
are you
know,
ever gonna
like
have 5 dinosaurs exactly to shuffle into your deck?
you are, trust me. Um,
Exactly 5.
it's
Well, not
not.
exactly
Yeah,
5,
it
but
doesn't have
just
to be exactly 5. I think
but
that'll
no,
be.
but it has to be like it has to be no, it has to be exactly 5. But you don't have to have you don't have like the exact number 5. You can have more than 5. It's just banish 5. Like,
Yeah, yeah,
but
I get what you're saying, but like Tyranno Infinity used to be played in the deck. Okay,
yeah,
so
good point.
yeah.
Well, it used to be.
Well, it's because miscellaneous sources at one. And
Forbidden Chalice is a card.
yeah. Uh, so yeah, it's like Dinosaurs are coming back.
Very soon. Uh, Deathmania Devil. I can't believe they gave this archetype support. When this card's first monster by battle, you can add a level 4 lower beast monster to protect your hand. Never gonna see play. Calling it now.
Well, I wouldn't say never. Just actually no, probably never.
Yeah. This card is interesting. Janshimatsu, Wind Wing Beast, Flip Monster. I'm already getting them Shadal Prediction Princess flashbacks. Make them stop, please. Once per turn, you can change this card face down defense position, and then the second effect, you can draw one card and discard one card.
So this is
Th-
like
that triggers the Shadals. I'm playing Wind Witch, not Wind Witch. I'm playing Shadal Prediction Princess with like at least one copy of this.
I was thinking more of like Subterror just because she can flip herself face down, and then she's kind of like a better version of like Deslakuta because I remember I used to see
Yeah.
a lot of people playing that when Subterrors first came out, just because you could draw cards. Now, obviously, she has herself a regular flip effect, so you can use it whether she's attacked or if she's flip summoned, but you have to discard a card after the
That
fact.
one even wouldn't really be bad. You could discard the behemoths in your hand. Discard the Well, they don't really have stuff in the graveyard, do they?
Yeah, well, the
The
thing
burrowing.
is that a lot of the card, yeah, like they don't really have too many live cards in the graveyard other than like Nemesis Warrior, and I don't think you would, uh, like drop Nemesis Warrior from hand willingly.
Unless you have two.
No, unless you have a behemoth on the field.
Yeah.
So, but she's just okay, honestly. I don't think she's anything special.
If
But,
she ever gets put on the dueling book servers soon enough, I'll probably test her with like one or two.
yeah,
Now this I was actually kind of really interested in seeing. Sarujuya the Skull Deet or Skull Deet the Chain Draco Serpent. Earth Dragon Link requires 2 monsters with different names. It's a Link 4.
2 or more monsters with different names.
You're right. And its link markers are the same as Topologic Bomber Dragon, so it's nice to know. It gains the following effects depending on the number of monsters used as materials. 2 or more, if a monster's normal special summon to a zone this card points to, that monster gains 300 both ways. Okay. Once per turn, you can special summon a monster from your hand. Firewall does that, and Firewall does it not once per turn.
Yeah.
But this just does on ignition, so it's alright. And then 4, when this card is link summon, you can draw 4 cards, then return 3 of them to the bottom of your deck in any order.
Yeah. Summoning him with 4 different monsters, I think, is a real stretch.
That won't even be hard. Let's face it, that won't even be hard.
I don't know.
4 rockets, any 4 monsters and spirals, literally any 4 monsters with different names. Because it doesn't say effect monsters, it just says generic two monsters with different names.
Yeah, I feel like, although it can probably look easy for some decks, I feel like a lot of decks are when you go into that Link 2 or you go into that Link 3 and you're like, oh damn, it's like you're all of a sudden you're like down a monster, and then you're like you can only use 3, you can only use 2. Like there's gonna be a lot of situations where I feel like it's just gonna be inconvenient.
Well, if anything, you don't use it for the zones.
Oh, definitely not for the zones, but I mean like for like its summoning, there's.
Yeah.
But I feel like if you were to use him, you would have to like pass your turn after that, unless the cards you drew were like so godlike. Because although you're drawing 4, you're putting 3 back
In the bottom of your deck.
Yeah.
Now this card, Linkage Hole. I misread it at first. You can only activate 1 of this card's name per turn. If you can control a Link rating 4 or higher monster, destroy monsters your opponent controls up to number of Link rating 3 or higher monsters you control.
So they always make spell cards like this for like extra deck monsters. They had like Synchro Blast Wave, and then Exceed.
Something exceed.
Exceed Blast or Exceed Burst or something like that.
No, not exceed burst. I remember exceed. No, it was no exceed burst was level rank 6 or higher. So I remember that.
No, yeah, that also destroys set cards. But yeah, there's another one where if you just detach Exceed Energy, maybe
I
you
don't know.
you detach the material and you pop a monster your opponent controls. So
I don't know.
yeah,
Doesn't matter.
it's just one of those cards that nobody's ever actually gonna
But
use.
I mean, linkage hole. Like I feel like the generic Cyberse decks like out of structure I could play this mainly because it doesn't target, which I guess is kind of good. And they
Yeah,
put out a lot of link threes,
I don't know.
but then you have to put out link four
Yeah,
to make
you
it
you
viable.
have to control Link 4. Although it uses Link 3, so it's just one of those cards that's just gonna be inconvenient.
And then for them rockets, which I know 3 of them came secret rare. Fun. Revolve Boot Sector. It's a field spell because every deck needs a field spell now. You can only use this card's named second effect once per turn. Rocket monsters gain 300 attack and defense. Second, you can activate one of these effects. Special summon up to 2 rocket monsters with different names from your hand defense position.
I mean, I think it's nice that it says up to 2, so just in case you only have one, like you can't, like it's not going to cut you out of just saying, oh, well, you can't do it because you only have one. You can summon one, you can summon two.
If your opponent controls more monsters than you do, you can special summon rocket monsters with different names from your graveyard defense position up to the number of monsters deficit. You guys mistyped again. Why'd your organization get on that?
I mean, they have a lot of translating to do one day. I think you can give them a break.
Good point.
But
they're Italian, right?
uh, no, I think they're like all different languages, honestly. But like to be completely honest, if your monster has like if your opponent has that many more monsters than you do, I think you should just scoop it up. I mean, like this looks like it could be like a soul charge like for free if you like are lucky enough to survive the turn. But if you like most times, if your opponent is gonna have that many more monsters than you do, then you should probably just scoop it up.
They got another trap card. Barrel refrigeration.
I didn't even know you had to keep guns in the refrigerator.
I mean, where else would you keep guns?
I don't know.
Tribute 1 rocket monster and target 1 Boral Link monster you control. Equip this card to that target. It gains this effect once per turn. Quick effect, you can target 1 monster you control. During this turn, that monster cannot be destroyed by battle or card effects.
So, I think the nice part is that the Link monster or the Boral Link monster gets to keep this effect permanently.
The barrel Link monster.
Yeah, barrel, but
Yeah.
obviously they're not going to name it that in the TCG. Yeah, so it's just nice that it gets to keep that permanently, as long as it's face up on the field.
It's equipped to the Link monster. Because this
Oh.
equips to the Link monster, and then it targets a different monster.
You see, the fact that equipped trap cards aren't their own like type yet, like makes cards like these confusing to me.
They should be.
Because-
That'd be an interesting. How Paleos are their own mechanic. That'd be an interesting mechanic too.
I don't know. I feel like it would just be a waste, just because they can actually just okay. Well, this trap card becomes an equip card. Well, it's an equip card now, so yeah.
Well, Paleos would be a little bit more interesting to play.
So here's another card I wanted to talk about. It was a Guidance. It's a normal trap card, and so you can only use its effect once per duel. So you can only resolve this card or even activate it once per duel. So if your opponent has a Shien, don't activate it yet. So select one of your opponent's unused main monster zones while that zone is usable. So if your opponent would normal summon or special summon or set a monster to a main monster zone, they must use that zone, and this effect is applied until that a zone becomes occupied. Now, from a first glance, it doesn't seem like a big deal because if you use it on your opponent's starting hand, they can just like, oh well, I'm just gonna summon my first monster here then. Okay, it's not a big deal. This is one of those cards that you're gonna have to play at the right time to be real effective with it, because if it's like, let's say you're playing like somebody who's using like World Challenge or something, and they go into Link Spider, right? And so you after they go into this Link Spider, you use Guidance or the pun to be. It doesn't say it here, but it's like guidance. You're showing them where they have to put their monster. So after you use your Link Spider, you special summon they're gonna special summon a monster from their hand, and so what would happen is you activate this card on a zone that isn't the zone that Link Spider points to, and all of a sudden they can't use Link Spider's effect because now they can only use that zone. So unless they have another monster in their hand that they can summon, they're pretty much going to be. I don't think they can do anything for the rest of the turn if they already use their normal summon. Now, like in a lot of decks, this probably won't be a problem because a lot of decks these days have extra normal summons, cards that they could special summon from the hand or field, or monsters they can set or stuff like that. So, it's just one of those cards that I feel like it's really going to depend on how the matchup goes, and like it's one of those cards we'll just have to see if it actually becomes anything relevant. But it's like interesting enough to like spark a discussion about.
Let me just be the first person to note that Warrior Digrapher needs to not ODD Warrior Lady. That just needs to not happen.
Look, these two have been shipped since like the first since
they've been shipped since Dimension Wall.
Yeah, like the Dimension
Dimension Wall.
She wasn't even getting hit, and she was like in that pose as if she was getting hit. It was so weird.
Localized Trunade. That's
now we're getting to the sauciest card of everything that was revealed, and Giant Trunade just got localized. Okay, it's made in China print on it, and it got shipped to the U.S. Okay.
Return all set spell trap cards on the field to the hand. The first thing that came to my mind is this is not once per turn. Oh my god.
Well, I mean, I don't think it being once per turn would be a big deal because, once you return everything, all your opponent's set spell and trap cards to the hand, like...
Return your own. I don't know.
I don't know, like...
I don't know.
I feel like the game has kind of evolved to this point where I feel like Giant Trunade was broken because you could recycle certain cards,
I mean, it'd still be broken now because you recycle, like, your field spells...
Yeah, it's like that is why it was so good. But, something like this is actually more of a counter to something like a set rotation. Because, if your opponent tries to set that young gateway of chaos on your side of the field, you just be like, oh, nope.
Well, I'm searching for Lord of Gaia, and then I'm going to bounce it. It's okay.
No, because,
you don't even have to. When they side in set rotation, you side in this.
Yeah, I mean... It's like it's one of those cards. It's just it just seems like it's going to be a real good card in the future, but at the same time, it's kind of like the same thing with Pod Desires. I feel like only certain decks would be able to use it.
For a second, I thought they actually gave Guardians legitimate support. Thank God. Guardians Force. When the equipped monster declares an attack, place one spell counter on this card. It gains 5 attack and defense for each spell counter on it, and then if the equipped monster be destroyed by battle or card effect, you remove one spell counter from your field instead. So, mythical beast support. Yeah.
If this wasn't an equip card, I would probably like it.
What would it rather be, a field spell?
Yeah, because maybe a continuous spell as well, but sure. It's like, when you activate it, you target one monster you control, and as long as that monster is face up on the field, this card stays. That monster leaves the field, this card gets destroyed. Just have the exact same effects except applied to the targeted monster. And then that would make it pretty good, but
that's asking for too much from a card about spell counters. From a card about spell counters, that's asking for too much.
I guess maybe, but if it could be used on any monster your side of the field, I like that would be a lot better actually. Like if you could protect any monster from being destroyed by removing spell counters.
True. This next card, I want to focus on the card art first before we go into the effects.
This artwork is just kind of weird.
Why is an older Pilica descendant of Gusto riding on the back of a Subterra Behemoth apparition? I question everything that's going on in this card art.
I don't know, man. But it's that nice young counter trap.
When the battle phase ends, it becomes the end phase.
So
no struggling battle things, I think.
No. Struggling battle would still activate because when in this thing's context, it says when the battle phase ends. It says it doesn't say at the end of the battle phase.
So card name is Parthian Shot, by the way. I skipped over that.
So yeah,
this is just a really weird.
It's trap. Cool. It has nice artwork, but I don't know.
Nice is stretching it.
No, I mean, it's not ugly.
It could be, yeah, true. it could be Destrudo.
Yeah, I mean, Destrudo is just plain.
Destrudo is just hideous.
And next we have the next version of
Sensor Differentiation.
The next version of Gozen Match.
Basically, each player can only control one monster of each type, and all the other face-up monsters they control the graveyard. The first thing that came to my mind was Rivalry of Chaos, but I'm like, wait.
You brought Rivalry of Warlords.
There we go. I get it in my mind.
You know, like, I was thinking about it. I was like, oh, well, wait, we already have this card. And then it's like, oh, it's like you only control one of each type, so only one warrior.
Because I had to relook up Rivalry of Warlords, and I'm like, oh, wait, no, this...
One spellcaster, one fiend.
One machine,
one dragon.
cybers.
So it's kind of like a reverse psychology version of, like, Rivalry of Warlords. But
this, I feel like, might become relevant somewhere down the line.
I mean, it's definitely going to be relevant. I feel like these like non-meta decks are like always just like
thinking of ways to outclass the meta.
Yeah, they always like busting out when they see a card like this.
And then we have one of the worst cards possible, Contacting Sea, a level 6 Earth Insect.
So when your opponent would normal summon, or one day normal summon or special summon a monster, you can special summon this card from your hand to your opponent's field. In defense position.
If this card's controlled with Fusion, Synchro, Exceeds, or Link Summon, they must use this card as material. So, why would you let them Link Summon for free with no restrictions? Like, if this dealt you 1,000 for Link Summoning with it, I'm like, okay, would have been fine. If it did you some kind of negative for Link Summoning with it. But no, you just give them a free monster because reasons.
I feel like you can probably find a good situation to, like, cuck your opponent out of playing the game to use this card in.
When they summon Link Spider and you put this in that Link Spider zone?
Yeah, it's like if they... Well, then they could just go for Mrs. Radiant, but, you know, something more like the along the lines of, like, Lunalight, if they try to... Because, you know, Lunalights have, like, this whole fusion staircase, so it's like just Cat Dancer, Panther Dancer, and Leo Dancer. You know, they're getting Calladio Chicken, Crimson Fox, and Circuit Break. So
shout out to Lunalights for finally getting their support.
Waiting so long. I'm still waiting on the Super Heavy Samurai Daihachi, but
still waiting on Patchwork though.
So, you know, if they go into their, like, so let's say they use let's say they normal summon out Calladio Chick, because that would be the best thing to normal summon, and then, you know, send Panther Dancer to the graveyard to attempt to summon out Leo Dancer as fast as possible.
You'd be like, nah, just hold this.
Yeah, you special summon out that Contacting Sea, and all of a sudden they can't fusion summon anymore.
They can't contact fuse.
Well, yeah, they can't fuse in general.
They can't even synchro Xyz.
You know, like...
There's a lot of decks that actually get hurt by this, now thinking about it.
I feel like it's only bad because it says Link Summon. If it were just Fusion, Synchro, or Exceed, I think this would be a lot stronger of a card, but the fact that you can Link Summon with this monster means that, okay, well, I'll just go into Decode Talker.
I'll just go to Mrs. Radiant.
Yeah, it's like, because it's Earth, it's like, it just makes it so bad that you can go into Mrs. Radiant. You know, Retaliating Sea is like outclasses this card by a landslide, but...
And it searches Max C.
Yeah, so I don't think this card's going to see a lot of play in the competitive scene. And in the casual scene, most people don't really care too much about side deck cards.
Most casuals I know don't side deck.
Yeah, so it's something that's probably just like not going to see a light of day anytime soon. Unless there's like a real specific deck that says you can only use materials like with cards inside of its archetype. Then it would be something that would like lock that deck out of playing the game.
Now, before I go into the effect, Hades, you're looking kind of upset there.
I mean, you just call him Hades. Everybody knows it's just Hades.
Whatever. Roll reversal. If your life point is more than your opponent's, swap life with your opponent.
You know, like, I saw this card and I got angry at first, but then I was like, oh wait, self-destruct button doesn't exist anymore. So, you know, I just started skipping away all happy and everything just because, you know, it's like, the fact that self-destruct button was a card at one point is just made the game real degenerate. And the fact that it's gone now makes cards like this so pointless and dumb that, you know, it's just a card you can laugh at, like a Graceful Tear or like a Gift of Greed, stuff like that. You know, like these are cards you just laugh at. You don't really care too much about actually using them.
The way that I see it is like, because Life Equalizer didn't get hit on the list when Monarchs were still around with Magical Explosion. They didn't get hit on that list. This is really stupid. This is really, really stupid.
I mean, but you have to have more life points than your opponent. So it's like, what would
if you're playing Trickstar, then it won't be hard or something.
Yeah, it's
so like, then you're playing Trickstar with this.
It's like, there are probably decks that can probably meet this condition easily, but they wouldn't be able to benefit from it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like a card
you're
like
putting yourself at a disadvantage if you give them more life.
Yeah, it's like a card like this is pretty pointless.
Well, yeah, I think that's mainly it. Yeah, it's... Oh, no, there's more. We got Border Patrol.
Inspect.
Cannot be normal summon or special summon while you control a monster, but can be normal set. Okay.
So, just as long as you have no monsters on the field, you can still normal summon it. But, or, if you pendulum summon it, like more than it and another monster at the same time, technically you don't have any monsters on the field. So, but,
this is
control
really
monster,
interesting.
you have to set it.
Really interesting card. Each turn, each player can only activate monster effects a number of times up to the number of monster card types, Ritual, Fusion, Synchro, Xyz, Pendulum, and or Link among monsters on the field. That is a really interesting floodgate.
Yeah, I think it's pretty cool, actually. Just because it's like a lot of decks wouldn't be able to like get their combos going. Like if you try to like summon out Quick Fix, first, and then
hurt me, right?
You wouldn't be able to use it because there's no extra deck monsters on the field, so you're just gonna sit here, and I'm gonna sit here. I have 2,000 attack. You have like how much does Quick Fix have?
This is 500.
Yeah, you have 500.
I'll just summon Super Age and equip him with fully armed, and I'll out you.
But
that's a whole other story.
Yeah.
Now, if I just said activate card effects, I feel like that would have been a little bit way too much.
Yeah.
But I feel like it would have been able to make up for it having to not be a normal special summon while you control a monster.
Yeah, I guess, yeah.
And then Zombie Vanilla, because Zombina actually came in Code Duelist as one of the random pack fillers.
We need a zombie normal monsters, okay? We just need a zombie deck that's playable without like all these outside Mizuki and Gozuki.
That won't happen. That will never happen now that we have if
Vendreads are getting there. Okay, Vendreads are getting to that point where
but they're still going to play 3 Mizuki.
Well, you don't have to.
They're going to. It makes them faster.
Man. Look. Well, like at the end of this Yu-Gi-Oh season, we'll see if that actually.
Oh wait, that flavor text is so edgy. Oh my god, the two of them got along so well together in death and together in undeath. They would never leave each other. That is why they'll never meet again. That is wow. That's this card's lore is
really Japanese stuff. Of course, it's emo. So yeah, that's really all there is here for today or tonight. Or
tonight. Well, it is 12:13, so you guys are seeing this in the future on the 13th of October.
But it's uploaded on the 13th of October. Oh, it's Friday the 13th.
Oh, crap. Go home safe. Watch out for Jason, guys.
Don't worry. I'm sure my booty will be fine.
Oh.
I'm too ugly for people to be running after my booty. But yeah, the card I really like the most is, again, the Dinosaur card. Seeing, Konami kind of just buff up Dinosaurs a little bit after
they got debuffed.
Yeah, it's like I think it's nice that they make it their own playable deck now because they realize that we relied too much on Diagram and that Lost World was something that, although it's nice and has its own strategies, it's like nowhere near as fast or as good.
Like if they ever get these Extreme Forces cards onto like Dueling Book YJ Pro, I will definitely give these a try because Overtext is actually a really nice card.
Okay. I just need to make sure that it's in the actual set because it says 36 right here. If this was over 80, I would be so pissed.
Why?
Because the way Japanese set works is that they have 90 cards in their set, right? And so we, in the TCG, we only get the first 80. So the last 10 is stuff that stays Japanese exclusives. And so we, like, our 81 to 90 are the TCG exclusives that, like the Vendreads, the FAs, UAs, BAs, Noble Knights, the stuff that's...
Cosmo.
Subterra, stuff like that. And then 91 to 100 is the imports, but they don't, like, import them, in order. They don't always use the imports
We
from the
just
same
literally
set.
got Crimson Fox, Fishside Starling, and Kaleido Chick.
Yeah, they usually take their time. Like they plan these things beforehand. Sometimes decks don't get to see the light of day.
We still haven't gotten Shuttleroyd, Konami. It's been 13 years. Where is my boy Shuttleroyd?
I mean, we still haven't gotten like Karyu Shin, and that's I mean, anybody who knows Mako Tsunami. The original first Yu-Gi-Oh!
The Rage of Karyushin?
Rage of Karyu, yeah, we've gotten its Rage, but we haven't gotten the actual card yet.
Oh, God.
Yeah, so
there's like 42 vanillas that we haven't gotten yet, as far as I remember.
Yeah. So, I guess that's really all for now. Hope you guys enjoyed. This was Nisho here with YuGiVerse.
Thanks for watching this really late segment of Watch Your Organization.
Yeah, you know, I feel like every Yu-Gi-Oh organization video that I make, I'm just getting closer to becoming a mega capital G clone.
No, you're becoming a mix of Cap G and House of Champs with a little bit of like SEMO on the side. A
Yeah, I
little
don't
bit of
know.
SEMO.
House of Champs is very I don't know.
Energetic.
Eh,
You're very excited. You're not very excited.
yeah.
You're very.
I'm
You're
not
not.
very excited. Most of these cards don't interest me, so it's like
That Dino card interested you.
yeah, that Dino card.
That
But
Dino card just like, whoo,
yeah.
baby. You actually stopped for a
Look,
second.
when Six Samurais become tier 1 again, that'll be the day.
Okay, so
But
2032 got it.
okay, so hope you guys enjoyed. This is Nisho here. Peace out.
Bye, guys.